Hello again, back with another book. This is Territorial War 2, A Battle on Two Fronts. This is the book that almost inspired me to write a trilogy. I really only had plans to write a second book, but the book would have been so incredibly long that it only made sense to break it up into two parts. This book picks up right where the first one leaves off. In Paxanthus with the heroes at the end of the events of the first book. Um, if you've read the first book, you know that the dynamic of everything kind of changes at the end of it. The implications are pretty big. So the overseer, from that point forward, goes around to each academy to conduct smaller tournaments before they plan to conduct Territorial War, the big tournament in Sensu. But as the overseer is going around, things start to unravel. Things start to kind of fall apart, if you will. Um, the overseer begins to see things, begin to have visions of this evil entity, but can't explain what it is. And of course, as they travel around, this gets progressively worse and worse, ultimately leading to, sorry, my car's making a lot of noise, ultimately leading to a, big, I don't want to say reveal, but leading to things kind of coming to a head. It's almost as if these visions were potentially a premonition of sorts. But it reveals my favorite villain that I've ever written, is revealed in this book. And the overseer and said villain have a bit of a standoff before, things progress further than that. Ultimately, what happens is it leads to an event where all of the people from all territories, light, dark, fire, earth, air, water, all six of them, the heroes that are still around, have to come together to help. And it leads to a massive operation of combined efforts on two different fronts. They split apart kind of in two teams, and they must, tackle this obstacle. But just like the first book, and just like most of my books, this is not without risk and it's not without danger. These teams of people, they face massive threats, and these threats ultimately lead to injuries and death. So they risk their life, they risk everything as they go on these missions to accomplish this end goal. I'm trying to find a way to describe it without giving too much away. But as they do this, they face down these threats head on and fearless, and ultimately may or may not accomplish their task. I'm not going to give it away. But if you like action, if you like a much more in-depth narrative than the first book I wrote, much more character development, there's more to them than just quirky personalities. You learn a little bit of each character's history and the more in-depth about who they are as a person. And if you like that sort of stuff, but also still like action, still like risk, still like darker tones, then you would love this book. It is Territorial War 2, A Battle on Two Fronts. So check it out. And, as always, if you ever read them, let me know what you think. Y'all have a great day.